vigilance committees, self-appointed volunteers who will track down and punish wrongdoers. Sodbusters, name given to Great Plains farmers because they had to break through so much thick soil, called sod, in order to farm. Nomads, a member of a people having no permanent abode and who travel from place to place to find fresh pasture for their livestock. Entrepreneurs, people who risk their time, money, and other resources to start and manage a business. Alexander Graham Bell invented the telephone. Thomas Alva Edison, this scientist, received more than 1,300 patents for a range of items including the automatic telegraph machine, the phonograph, improvements to the light bulb, a modernized telephone, and motion picture equipment. Robber barons, people who built fortunes by swindling investors and taxpayers and bribing officials. 22nd and 24th President, Democrat, honest and hardworking, fought corruption, vetoed hundreds of wasteful bills, achieved the Interstate Commerce Commission and civil service reform, violent suppression of strikes. Sharecroppers, people who rent a plot of land from another person and farm it in exchange for a share of the crop. Exodusters, African Americans who moved from post-Reconstruction South to Kansas. Ida B. Wells, African American journalist, published statistics about lynching, urged African Americans to protest by refusing to ride streetcars or shop in white-owned stores. Benjamin Pap Singleton, African American man who promoted the migration of other African Americans from the South, which he had escaped as a slave, to his community in Dunlop, Kansas. Booker T. Washington, African American progressive who supported segregation and demanded that African Americans better themselves individually to achieve equality. W.E.B. Du Bois fought for African American rights, helped to found Niagara Movement in 1905 to fight for and establish equal rights. This movement later led to the establishment of the NAACP. Sam Hose, accused of murdering his employer, arrested in Atlanta over money, beaten and burned alive. Example of brutality in the South, turning point for W.E.B. Du Bois. William McKinley, 25th President responsible for Spanish-American War, Philippine-American War, and the annexation of Hawaii, imperialism, is assassinated by an anarchist. Theodore Roosevelt, 1858 to 1919, 26th President, increased size of Navy, Great White Fleet, added Roosevelt corollary to Monroe Doctrine, Big Stick Policy, received Nobel Peace Prize for mediation of end of Russo-Japanese War, later arbitrated split of Morocco between Germany and France. William Howard Taft, 27th President of the U.S. He angered progressives by moving cautiously toward reforms and by supporting the Payne-Aldrich tariff. He lost Roosevelt's support and was defeated for a second term. Boss Tweed. Woodrow Wilson, 28th President of the United States, known for World War I leadership, created Federal Reserve, Federal Trade Commission, Clayton Antitrust Act, progressive income tax, lower tariffs, women's suffrage, Treaty of Versailles, sought 14 points post-war plan.